Happy birthday to Problematic Posse Wrestling, a program where for 3 seasons now, wrestlers fight for glory, for pride, and most importantly, for our entertainment on shows Warzone and Blitz. And once a month, rivalries explode and titles are challenged in various Posse Slams, as such was the case in the 11th Posse Slam, Birthday Bash. But I understand, it's rough to miss legendary events such as these, and that's why I, the Shady Champ, CEO and lead reporter of Shady News, am here to get you up to speed and ready for the next PPW show. Right after a word from our sponsors, of course.
I'm doing this shit, mama. I'm doing this shit big. I just caught the new fire. A little over $250,000. He called me like 2-6. I eat with the 5 stars. That perk got a nigga high. Right now I'm a fly star. You can get power with the toy I gave.
Now that's a channel to like and subscribe to, and follow on Twitch so you never miss a stream at 8:30 Central Time. But enough about this promotion, now we talk about a wrestler that recently lost his. The Groovy One used to be a leader of a group called the Groovy Generals, but since getting drafted to Blitz and losing his devout followers to the Shady Truth, he finds himself alone in a way that he had never been before. But just because he's without disciples doesn't mean that he's without beef, as Team Money Tez, irate from all the open worship of the so-called Groovy Truth in Season 2, looked to take his frustration out on the former Lord Groovy. And though the momentum flipped as often as these two wrestlers, in the end it seems that Team Money Tez's mouth wrote a check his fist couldn't cash, as the Groovy One picks up his first win of Season 3. We move on to a triple threat elimination match containing representatives of prominent factions of PPW. K-Rich, the newest and only member of Cerberus without a title match in this pay-per-view, Warlock Noah of the Rose Rangers going back to basics in his old outfit, and the Shady One, the center of the Shady Truth. Handsome guy. K-Rich proved to be the unluckiest member of Cerberus as he was eliminated first by Warlock Noah, but Noah had spent so much energy putting K-Rich away that he was ill-prepared to handle the Shady One, who quickly eliminated Noah after. Now the Shady One used to reside with the Rose Rangers until the Mike is Right cut him from the squad, so for the Shady One to overcome Noah specifically, this stood as a shock to Mike, who says as much here.
Noah, you could have lost to anyone, but him, unacceptable. I'll leave it at that. Unacceptable.
See, if you were a real Ranger, you would have just agreed with me right there. But
we talking about real Rangers? We talking about real Rangers, man.
Now, of course, Noah wasn't gonna take this scolding lying down and had more to say to the Mike is Right, but unfortunately, Posse Slam had to cut to commercial. But the fact still remains, there is tension within the Rose Rangers, and only time will tell if the roses will bloom in these trying times or wilt. But believe it or not, this is not the only time that the Mike is Right caused discord within a faction in this Posse Slam. In the commentary booth on earlier episodes of Warzone, Mike expressed a growing sentiment regarding the tag team of TNT, that Tempest, who struggled to get a win on his own, was holding back T-Hole, who managed to win most of his solo matches, even going so far as to call Tempest a Player 2 wrestler. T-Hole, taking offense to Mike's words, challenged Mike to a 2v1 to showcase the strength of T-Hole and Tempest Spawn in a handicap match that any tag team worth their salt would easily use to boost their win percentage. It was a hard-fought battle with Mike using every trick that he knew and even some that he didn't, but after rescue after rescue after rescue, when T-Hole saw Tempest in yet another perilous situation, he finally realized the Mike was right after all and initially walked away from the ring in disgust as Tempest tapped out. Could this have diffused TNT once and for all? The answer will lie in a future episode of Warzone. The best wrestler of PPW is easily Hunter Brook, and that's not hyperbole, folks. After holding the Warzone Women and Them's Championship for over a combined 350 days and defeating 99% of the opponents that dared stand against her, by Season 3 it was quite understandable that Brook felt that there was no more challenge to her standing and announced her retirement after one last title defense. Upon hearing that Brooke had one last match in her, Emily in one bold move transferred from Blitz to Warzone to fight Brooke one last time and finally get a win off against her in a steel cage match in honor of their first showdown where Em lost her title to Brooke all those months ago. But Em learned the hard way that history often repeats itself, as once again, for the last time, Brooke took victory away from Em, entering retirement cemented as the best to ever do it. But now Warzone is without a Women in Them champion, and what will it look like to find someone to fill the massive shoes that Brooke left behind? Well, perhaps we need look no further than the Blitz Women in Them's title match. Princess Rave, who earned the title after winning a fatal 5-way versus Ronda Rousey, a WWE plant looking to establish dominance within PPW. Now, Princess Rave is infamous for having a murder move disguised as a submission, but Ronda must have done her homework as she refused to give Rave enough space to pull the move off, and as a result, their reign as champion came to a quick end as Ronda Rousey took the belt to be crowned Blitz Women in Them's champion. And speaking of WWE plants looking to make a name for themselves, UMAGA found himself in a fatal 4-way elimination match for the Blitz United States Championship. His opponents? The Kingsmen, consisting of tag team champions Crazy Cord and Jesse Bananas, and solo competitors / Zesty Czar Rashad the Wizard. Luckily for UMAGA, the Kingsmen lowered their odds of winning almost immediately as Shad took out Jesse via Anaconda Vice and Cord pinned Shad, leaving a clash of the giants between UMAGA and Cord. But after some insane displays of strength on both sides, UMAGA failed to establish WWE dominance on the men's side of Blitz as Crazy Cord took the win, making him the first wrestler of Season 3 to have 2 championship belts in the US title and the tag team title. Kingsmen stand up indeed. In Season 1, Tay Nubis was something of a laughingstock in PPW. He had both the worst outfit and the worst win record with 0 wins and 11 losses, with that last loss causing him to be fired, cementing his career as having gone defeated. But at the tail end of Season 2, Tay made a surprise entrance at the TV title Elimination Chamber match, and he went on to get his first win and his first title in the now Intercontinental Championship belt. And now Tay had to prove that his title win was not a fluke as he faced Jordan the Warden of Cerberus, easily one of the most violent members of the PPW roster. The fight dragged on outside of the ring with Tay being put through the ringer, but when the fight moved back into the ring, Tay got a second wind and finished off Jordan the Warden, who was tuckered out after having fought outside of the ring. Tay manages to maintain his Intercontinental title, sending Jordan presumably back to the tag team scene. Anything can happen in PPW. That was the sentiment when Season 1 Tay Nubis almost won the Royal Rumble. It was the sentiment when Joe Biden became champion, and it was absolutely the sentiment when a rabbit swept through the Blitz Invitational Tournament to become the #1 contender for Blitz Heavyweight Champion held by Pretty Boy JG. The Bunny, new to Season 3, quite handily defeated the likes of Nightmare of TNT, Warlock Noah, Crazy Cord, and Jesse Bananas to go on to face Pretty Boy JG in a 15-minute Iron Man match where the winner has to secure the most pins. The audience surely thought that the joke would be put to rest as JG was a great wrestler with a powerful kit in his own right, but the Bunny hopped to the occasion, and what was once an evenly matched battle turned into an incredible display of high-flying techniques as the Bunny defeated JG 5-2 to become Blitz Heavyweight Champion with a 5-0 win record. We at Shady News may not know who on the Blitz roster can stop the Bunny, but we know for sure that loony times are ahead. And while for Blitz, a rookie underdog, under Bunny, became champion, on Warzone, a fellow champion looked to re-establish dominance, even if a fellow faction member stood in his way. Delonte West staked the rest of his season 2 to have a title match against Cowboy Kent, and as a result, Cerberus was without their biggest dog for 3 months. But in this time, the remaining Cerberus members kept the Cerberus brand golden, as Steel Sean and Jordan the Warden would hold the tag team belts, and K Rich would hold the TV title multiple times. This led to talk that Steel Sean was the best member of Cerberus, and when it came time to determine the #1 contenders for the Warzone Heavyweight Championship, it was only natural that Steel Sean and a returning Delonte would make the final 2, having to face off against each other to determine who could hold the title. And while Sean gave an amazing effort, what he didn't count on was how transformed Delonte had become in wanting his championship status back, literally choking his Cerberus brethren out to ensure this title and swearing that his faction would secure the rest of the belts, in effect declaring war with the rest of the Warzone brand. And that concludes the Posse Slam 11 recap. Now, we here at Shady News have gotten word that for the next Posse Slam, the theme will be Warzone vs Blitz to determine which show has the best warriors. So we'll be seeing champions of each show facing off against each other. And in the meantime, who knows what other kind of rivalries will develop. Now, we may have gotten you up to speed with these recaps, but there's no way to prepare you for the craziness that comes next. This has been Shady News, where the truth is often shady.